soon as the cycle around, he's not hitting any SCVs in particular, and as long as Flash saves his command center with this attack, he's going to end up in the bonus because he's held this off, he hasn't lost any troops, and he's managed to take out Oregon's troops in the meantime. Oregon, with this strategy, needs to enact damages, specifically needs to enact damages, because otherwise he's just going to end up overwhelmed by tanks, just because the difference in pure troop count. Looks like the tanks were just a brutal amount of tanks were able to clear that up. Secondary gas refinery getting shelled a little bit here. If he can take out that gas, that would be somewhat of a win, but again, too many tanks sneaking up. That's 6, it looks like 5 actually tanks wandering up, and he needs to preserve those dropships as much as possible. Every dropship is like gold, but yeah, that's 5 tanks to Goliath. Actually, he's going to be able to sneak that out, that he's not managed to do any damage with. Flash taking that 9 o'clock now, very aggressively taking that 9 o'clock. That's extremely exposed. Looks like Oregon has in fact spotted that, and now Flash headed out with some tanks to defend it immediately. Oregon, this is a great opportunity from Oregon. He could do a lot of damage at multiple locations. Flash is really spread out. He's at multiple locations, going to have to defend that 9 o'clock and his main and his secondary simultaneously. Looks like Oregon in the meantime is going to go up to 3 bases. So this is going to be really the key battle here, is what can Oregon do with these dropships. And can he take out that 3 o'clock where Flash is really spread out? And Flash already has 3 tanks there, that upper edge, only 2 tanks underneath, and wandering up with that single SCV to absorb that first blast. Nice. Again, minimizing damage, and it doesn't look like he's going to lose any SCVs at all here across the 6. Oh, and beautiful. Just a brutal amount of troops wandering up. Again, another ineffectual drop and a completely lost army there. Flash taking very few losses, where Oregon's taking very heavy losses. So even with that slight economic edge, Flash is just pounding through this game, and he's still at 4 factories. That kind of shocks me. With that 3rd base down, I expected him to be at more factories than this, particularly against 3 machine shops down on the ground. That amount of tanks, and oh man, Oregon getting caught, losing a dropship, which is huge, and also getting caught in mid position, out of position, while Flash moves up right in speed transition, and once again, Piano just losing troops across the midfield, not able to enact any damages across the 9 o'clock, and getting completely wiped out across the middle of the base. And now he's going to be on the defense. Flash, yeah, you can see the look on his face. He knows it. 3 bases Flash is at, and he has just a huge troop count on the ground. He can go up and try to deny that secondary. It looks like he is going to do so. He should be able to take those 2 tanks out with just Goliath alone. SCV's coming out the line. Is going to end up losing a lot of them, and just those 3 dropships just kind of sitting there vacantly up in the air, and finally getting his 3rd machine shop down, but it's not going to make a difference. He's still going to end up losing that secondary, looting up as many SCVs as possible, I assume for SCV bombs, but he could end up losing those dropships altogether with as many Goliaths as Flash has there. Looks like he's going to take out that barracks instead, which is going to prevent any more factories from going down. So just hurt happening to Piano here. Flash playing a beautiful game, I gotta say. Piano still at that 11 o'clock mining, but I'm not sure how long that's going to last, because Flash now has the opportunity to get some starports of his own. Looks like he is in fact building a starport. He's still just at that 3 factories, which surprises me considering how quickly he took that 3rd base. But he'll be still in a really great position. Another dropship down, and only 3 SCVs landing there. They did manage to take out 2 tanks at the very least, so hero SCVs. But he looks like, oh man, going to try to take that upper left, and that's completely exposed. Flash can just wander some troops, a tank or 2 up there, and he's going to be able to take that out. But it looks like he's a little bit more concerned about denying that natural expansion, and I think he might be taking his own lower 3 o'clock base. But this is a little bit greedy here from Piano. Piano setting up another command center, trying to go up 2 command centers and just defend with SCV bombs and rely on the fact that Flash is just not going to be aggressive and push up. And it looks like this might pay off. Looks like he lifted off his natural secondary, landed it there, the upper 3 o'clock. So he's going to try to go to 5 bases here, and he still doesn't have anything to take his own natural expansion, and nor is he adding up any factories to really drop or keep up with Flash's output. So I don't think this is going to work out. I think this is a bit panic time for Oregon. I don't like his decision making right here. Granted, he's got to do something drastic to try to get back in the game, but I'm not sure this is the drastic measure that would have done it for him. I think additional factories and a larger drop and just kind of off position drop at that 9 o'clock would have been better off. Although it looks like Flash already has it charted up, and let's see, that dropship probably going to get killed there, and it's not really going to get anything done. But I think that dropship was absolute gold. Flash does have the weapons 1 advantage as well. Those 2, that tank and that Goliath, is going to be pushed back by, it looks like, those 3 tanks as well as those SCVs. And Flash, once again, not even losing an SCV here. Actually, it looks like he's got 1 kill there, and that's going to also expose that upper left-hand corner. So looks like Piano's going to have to lift off there. So he's going to be down to 3. Actually, it looks like Mineral's mostly gone at that 11 o'clock. He's going to essentially be at 2 bases here. Yeah, he completely mined that out. So he's going to be at 2 bases. Ouch. And 2 bases versus 3 bases, soon to be 4 bases. Looks like Flash taking his natural secondary. Not a good position. More SCV bombs, because that's all he's got. He's only got SCVs to really take this out. Flash, though, amazing recovery. Just doing a very good job minimizing the damages. Exactly what he needed to do. I really feel like it's a little bit more on Piano, though. Not really very good decision making on where he was doing the drops and not really doing the damage he needed to do in the strategy here. Goliath in the front. He looks like he is going to be able to reclaim his secondary, but even Flash losing these attack troops, I think he's doing more damage than he's receiving here. Go away, tank, run! Looks like another dropship up. So I think Organ may lift up and may go for a really risky attack, a completely exposed attack here. Nope, he's going to wander out to his secondary and just run into Flash in position, losing more tanks. He's just running headlong into this. And really being sloppy with his troop placement, or maybe it's just Flash just being brilliant in his staging areas. But now Flash at 4, going to take 5 bases, and he has an option for that 6th at that lower 3. He's continuing to pound away at that natural secondary. He can keep running up that. I guarantee is more than just the 4 factories, which I think that's all that Piano has at this stage. Now SCV's running off the line just to get slaughtered, and you can see the desperation on Piano's face. He wants to win this, but no, he just doesn't have a big shot at it. Oof, and still denied there. Now turret's going up at that position, so it's only gas that's mined there at the 11 o'clock. I'm not sure where that command center went otherwise. And Flash has him essentially contained. Yeah, essentially contained across the map, despite the fact that he had dropships, and Flash with some dropship of his own headed, and he can drop shallow here, and this is what I'm going to talk about with that shallow drop. He doesn't have to go into that SCV line. He can drop right behind like that, and now, yeah, going to be able to get some SCV kills of his own. 4 tanks against 1 dropship's worth of troops, and it doesn't matter how Piano micros this, he's still going to end up losing some SCVs, and it looks like that's all that was in there is a couple SCVs. No, it looks like 2 SCVs, 2 Goliaths, or sorry, 1 Goliath and a tank. Microing it to minimize a little bit of damage. Flash going to put up 2 more command centers in the meantime, because he can. But yeah, all the SCVs getting drained here out of that 3 o'clock. The tank going to wander up. Looks like this is going to buy a little bit of time for Piano to get that second dropship in. And at least kill that, but the damage is done. He ended up losing SCVs there. He's not, in the meantime, building a ton of tanks. And again, he's still at that single, well, maybe he has 2 dropships out. But, ooh, Flash immediately running back over to that natural secondary. You can see idle SCVs just before they're even able to get mining there, running up into the attack. And there's no defense, absolutely 0 defense. Still at 4 factories there on that natural secondary, and more tanks wandering in. And that's going to be it. Flash had this game for a while. I expect GG in just a second as soon as this natural secondary either has to lift up. There's GG. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Whew, brutal match. Flash just showing why he's such a TVT champ. Piano making a lot of mistakes, though, I've got to say, altogether. So I'm not sure if this was... I got to feel like this was a lot of Flash's brilliance and just capitalizing on a lot of Piano's mistakes, although I did like Piano's opening build. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. More NetHack commentaries will be going. Some of them might be boring, but I have recorded basically most of the entirety of it. I've skipped a couple parts here, but I'm going to beat it with this character. Thank you all for listening, and yeah, hope you guys, and special shout out to Wilson and Liz Saunders, the new wedding couple.